go to Escondido, and we're gonna catch the 235 into downtown. From there, it is about 4:50 here, California time. So not bad, not bad. I think we're gonna get back in time even to do some dinner at the Alpha Project and get there at 6:30. Usually they start distribution a little late, but $8 coffee. This is the fully Irish cream. It's called the kicker. All these things, and but it's good. It's good caffeine, and it's good to have it every now and then. But I don't like it. I don't like caffeine. I don't like nicotine. But right now I have to get over a hurdle. And I've been about a week. If I just didn't drink any coffee, I could speed my head up to a point but it would take time. And you have to rehearse thinking at a speed. And it takes using other people. That's the tragedy of it. It takes using other people. How do I explain this? I need like 5 people. And it's something I'd never be invited to, unfortunately, because it's just because of how HBJ I am. HBGB, no, that's not a person I want going to the bar. That's not a person I want to interact with. But if I get into the rhythm of something, and that's why I really need to be able to pay actresses. And the preference for women is just, it's a Jeffrey Epstein thing. He always had female butlers and female people around him. Well, yeah, if you're born a sickly, and I think that might be kind of the story behind why he never had children, and there's kind of a sadness to his story. But the reason why is because he was a sickly, he had genetic issues, didn't want to have children, was slow. But really, he's kind of a tall figure. I don't know. I never really looked up his site, learned too much about it, but because he didn't have children, it was the same story that I told about myself. You don't have the bros. You don't have a guy that wants to go down to Mexico to bang women in Norte with you. You don't want to have a group of people that go with you to like a bar or a nightclub. You never have the bros. You never get that. You never get hooked up with that. And so everything's kind of based on, well, can I get the women anyway? But I use as the example the movie Titanic, and I've written critically about it. I'll put a link to where I write about it on my blog. I did some really criticism of it. Dream I wrote about Titanic of all movies, and as I said, it's a good blockbuster. But he starts off these 2 iconic scenes. He starts off, I'm king of the world, with his friend, and you can look at it, Eriksonian 8 stages. If we go from Freudian psychosexual to something that's a little more, you got to say it's beautiful, because we've taken it away from it never was that. But everybody's pop understanding of it is all Electra, Oedipus. It's all a cigar is more than just a cigar. And then now we have Erikson with the psychosocial. So now we it was all about latency period, and then there's because everybody's genital, and then it's going to go latent for some reason, and then it's going to reemerge for your new mom, I guess. But then Erikson said, now we're going to have it to where it's really more explained. It's not just simplistic psychosexual. So he's had 8 stages of social, and so it was intimacy versus isolation and all of that, and hope versus despair, and all this stuff of at the end it's about generativity, that the ultimate thing about the 8th stage, the old wise old man, that all rivers lead to the same ocean. It's about generativity, but it's the ultimate kind. It's more than just that your penis needs to generate by putting in a vagina and making sex happen inside the woman, so that women then get bigger through the pregnancy, and then 9 months later a baby comes billowing out of there, ripping her open, clawing out of there in the most violent ways, with the bloodshed and the christening of the child's head with the blood, the sacrament. And it's all done for us. There's just stuff in movies, but you gotta prick your finger and sign the deal that way. But whether you like it or not, welcome to hell. What can we do here as we approach San Marcos, I think? We're gonna make a 3rd part. I'm gonna come back.